I apologize for being late. We had more conversation. It took longer time than we expect. I'm sorry about being late. Flag salute. All attendants will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag by Ybarra Academy student Chloe Chen.
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you. There's no closed session report tonight. So we'll move to the next item. Ybarra Academy Principal Mariela Moscal and Assistant Principal Monica Gutierrez, along with students Chloe Chen, Miley Russell, and Michael Luna, will provide a brief report highlighting what is going on at their school. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Good evening, Rowland Unified School District. Board members, Dr. Mitchell, cabinet members, Rowland educators, and community. I am Mariela Moscal, principal at Ybarra Academy of the Arts and Technology. I am so excited to be able to share with you some of the highlights and happenings at our school for the first time as we return in person.
Good evening, I'm Monica Gutierrez, Assistant Principal at Ybarra Academy of Arts and Technology. I'd like to welcome Chloe Chen, Riley Russo, and Michael Luna, who will be sharing about a student's perspective on the life at Ybarra Academy.
Hello, my name is Riley, and today I'll be sharing with you about who we are and IB. I'm the fourth of my siblings to attend Ybarra. I am in 7th grade, and the 3 before me are in high school and college. Ybarra is not just a school for me, it's my family. Ybarra is a school like no other. I feel like we have some of the best teachers and staff around. Learning here is not a traditional sit down and listen to a lesson. Before COVID, my teachers incorporated flexible seating, such as yoga balls and floor seating. Back in 3rd grade, I remember when the teacher would turn on a gold noodle and let everyone stand up and dance. In 5th grade, my teacher assigned us all jobs that we got paid for. With Monopoly money, of course. We had to pay rent for our desks, and if we had leftover money, then we can auction for extra credit points or other goodies. At the time, we just thought it was fun, but it was actually teaching us the responsibility of saving money and paying bills. And although our classrooms may look a little different now, our teachers are still making learning fun. We are an IB school. We aim to be inquirers, thinkers, and caring students, along with many of the other learner profile traits. Our teachers encourage us to ask questions about our learning. I enjoy being able to demonstrate my learning in my own way. In 6th grade, we do an exhibition project. This is where we research about a problem that is happening all around us and we explain how we can take action to help. Examples of these problems are homelessness, abandoned pets, and even climate change. As Ybarra Bears, we follow our Bear Paw Pledge. Ybarra Bears are principal students who act responsibly with respect. Next, Michael Luna will be sharing about atmosphere, culture, and activities at Ybarra.
Hi, I'm Michael Luna, and I've been at Ybarra for almost 8 years now. Today, I want to talk to you about Ybarra's culture and activities. One thing that has always been here is how the whole school is a family and the amazing atmosphere that we have at Ybarra. Every year, our family grows and we meet and get to know our new family members. This year, we wanted to make connections to reconnect with one another from the very beginning. A way we have been doing this is how we have been having spirit days. For example, this year in our first week of school, we had a welcome back spirit week where each day we had activities that went along with our spirit day. We had spirit days like Red Out for Ybarra Red, Hawaiian gear because Ohana means family and we are one family, our class color, and wear your favorite team's gear. Some activities we did for the first week were what it means to be an Ybarra Bear, learn about each other's families, and we did some team building activities. And then another way we got to know our new bears was through Identity Day, where we got to share something that is a part of ourselves and what we are passionate about, interested in, or love. Then finally, we also had our ASB Officer Elections, where people like our Vice President Chloe shared their speeches and how they want to help our school be better. They already have planned many things for our school in just these few weeks. Now, I would like to pass this to Chloe to talk about our technology and innovation.
Hello, as mentioned earlier, my name is Chloe Chen. I'll be sharing with you this evening about the technology and innovation at Ybarra. Last year, we took advantage to develop our technology skills during virtual learning. We've learned how to use so many different apps to support our learning. Through everyday technology, we are able to use online virtual classes and schoolwork using Google Slides and shared documents. On Seesaw, some of our second grade students made a community and explained the rules and laws that supported one of their IB unit traits of inquiry. On Jamboard, some of our students made an All About Me and the others used other programs. This slide. At Ybarra, in addition to our inquiry units for IB, we have monthly school-wide STEAM projects. This year, on the first month of school, the main focus was to be a team like the Olympics. The students made skateboard parks since skateboarding was added to the Olympics this year. We have had fun designing and making our skate park. We also made Olympic torches for one of our projects. Lastly, we are excited for Bear Station. Once we put in all the safety measures in place, the Bear Station will be coming soon. The Bear Station is where student leadership gets to be creative and create news for student body on a weekly basis. Thank you for your time. We hope you enjoyed learning about the great things happening at Ybarra.
Thank you for allowing us to spotlight Ybarra this evening and everything that's happening at Ybarra Technology of the Arts and Technology Academy to Ybarra Academy of the Arts and Technology. So sorry. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Great to see everyone here this evening, okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moscal. Thank you for your report. Oh. Yes. Yeah, take a picture.
I'm gonna do a picture real quick. Oh, first I'm gonna break something. Wait. Great job, you guys. Great job.
Thank you again. Thank you. Mhm. Okay, the next we move to Superintendent report. Dr. Mitchell. Mhm.
Perfect, thank you. So this evening, I have some announcements and some information to share. I wanted first to share that the California Continuation Education Association has a state award committee that selects individuals to be honored as the 2021 California Continuation Education Association Employees of the Year. This award is given annually to individuals who have gone above and beyond in their leadership with staff, dedication to student success, and involvement in their community. We have award winners this year and last year in our district. Last year's award winners will be recognized with this year's award winners at the CCEA Plus annual conference. They were not able to be recognized last year due to COVID, and so they have held over their 2020 award winners, and we'll be announcing both 2020 and 2021 this year. So for our 2020 statewide recipients from Santana High School is Candace Orozco, Counselor of the Year, Debbie Lynn, Teacher of the Year, Erica Gonzalez, Classified of the Year, and Cesar Rivas, Safety Officer of the Year. For 2021 statewide recipients of the year, it is Maria Moana and Steve Feldman for CCEA Teachers of the Year, Paulo Duran, Counselor of the Year, Greg Perez, Administrator of the Year, Rodrigo Blanquel for Classified of the Year, and I was also recognized as their Superintendent of the Year. So we're very pleased to recognize these individuals from Santana High School. As you know, Santana is recognized as a model continuation high school. So we're very pleased with the work that they are doing, serving our students and our community at Santana High School. And it's nice to see an outside organization see the hard work that our staff is doing, serving our students as well. We will be recognizing these individuals at our October board meeting. I wanted to share with the community that we do have a COVID vaccine clinic that we are supporting and sponsoring with the East Valley Health Clinic. It will be September 14th, next Tuesday from 1:30 to 5:30. It is located at the East Valley Clinic. Last Tuesday, just 2 days ago, we had sponsored one here at our location at the district office. But next Tuesday, September 14th, from 1:30 to 5:30, it's at the East Valley Health Clinic, which is next to Villa Corta Elementary. And information is located on our district website. As it relates to COVID, I just want to thank our students, our staff, and our parents for all of the efforts that everyone is making to keep everyone safe and healthy. We know that there have been challenges, and we know that it's been very disappointing when our students have needed to quarantine, to miss school, when they have been a close contact to a family member or to a friend that has been impacted by COVID. However, that quarantining is an important step in keeping everyone healthy and stopping any potential spread of the virus. To date, we do not have any known cases of COVID that have been spread in our schools from student to student, student to staff, or staff to student. Our mitigating strategies are working, and that is because everyone is doing their part. So again, a huge thank you to our staff, to our students, and to our parents who are all supporting the efforts to keep everyone healthy and safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. Next, the student report. First was NIA, Rowland High School SB Speaker of the House will provide the report. Anna.
Good evening, Mr. President, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Mitchell, and members of the audience. My name is Anna Yee, and I am the Speaker of the House for Rowland High School. Beginning with a recap of August, the Welcome Back Assembly took place on August 27th with the theme Let's Make This Year Movie. It was a special event since it was the unveiling of our new field, which looks so good. Students watched their very own Rowland dance team, cheer, and drumline perform. In addition, all the Rowland High School's clubs had their club walk, where they held their handmade posters and walked around the track. New teachers were introduced, all sports captains introduced themselves, and our teachers closed the assembly with a special fancy dance. We would like to thank Mark Villalobos and Nikki Ormio for coming to our sound system. We would like to thank Mark Villalobos and Nikki Ormio for coming to do our sound system for the assembly. On September 2nd, it was Club Fair Day at lunch in our quad. The goal of this event was to promote each club. It was a great opportunity for students to learn more about each club. There was great participation from everyone. In addition to this day, it was back to school night. Because of COVID, back to school night took place virtually. Parents were able to look at videos on the teacher's page on the Rowland website. Now for the events happening this month. Seniors will have their second senior event of the year, Senior Barbecue, tomorrow, September 10th at lunch. During this event, seniors will be given free food if they purchase senior attire and vote for their homecoming court. Mr. Rice, our jar teacher, will provide freshly made cheeseburgers, hamburgers, chips, and strawberry lemonade. The homecoming revealing took place Wednesday, September 1st at lunch. Students watched the Rowland dance team perform and found out the theme of homecoming. We are finally having an in-person dance. Students at Rowland are very excited. Homecoming this year will take place on October 2nd, and it will be outdoors with the theme of an evening of light. We are already selling homecoming tickets this week. With homecoming happening this year, we are also going to have a yearly homecoming spirit week. Students will participate in different dress-up days. Homecoming spirit week will take place September 27th to the 30th. Monday will be monochrome Monday. Students will be wearing monochrome colors. Tuesday will be double trouble. Students will wear the same outfit as another student. Wednesday will be way back Wednesday. Students will wear throwback clothing. And lastly, Thursday will be Waiter Thunder. Students will wear blue and gold for homecoming rally. The homecoming rally this year will take place on September 30th. Because of COVID, it will be outside on a newly done field. In addition to homecoming, there will be a fashion show on September 20th. Students will have the chance to see what they can wear to homecoming if they don't know what to wear. And there will also be a top 6 rally on September 28th. Students will have the chance to learn more of the homecoming court, see them perform on the stage, and vote for the homecoming queen and king. Monday, September 13th will be our monthly House of Representatives meeting, which I will be hosting. This meeting is designed to host a representative from each of the homeroom classes. Students will have the opportunity to provide input and get information to take back to their classes. The Senate meeting will also be held on Monday, September 13th. This meeting is hosted by our ASB Vice President, Julian Montiano, which is composed of presidents of all the clubs. This meeting allows the clubs to have an opportunity to get information regarding clubs, as well as plan and organize events for the student body. As for sports, we're back in action. All 4 sports have been practicing and already had the first games. Last week, we won our first home football game. It was whiteout, so all students wore white to show our school spirit. This game had great participation, and it was great to have the opportunity to cheer for the team and cheerleaders, as well as spend time with our friends. In addition, there were nice decorations, and blue and pink powder was thrown after the game was over. It was messy but fun. Athletes are excited to play their sports, and students are very excited to be fans in the stands. Rowland students are very excited to have these upcoming events and are hopeful that with in-person students this year, they will cherish the moments and memories they're making at Rowland. With full support from the administration, Rowland ASB will persist in trying to make such memories possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. The next speaker is from Santana High School. Report from Maelena and requests Santana High School ASB member.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Mitchell. Santana ASB team is one that I am privileged to be a part of. A team of 2 has flourished into a team of many, so much so that we now have a waiting list of students who are hoping to join. ASB's August events was one for the books. The first activity of the year was Pajama Day. ASB really didn't know what to expect in terms of participation rates, but the turnout was astounding. More than half of the students and staff came in their sleepwear. It was a great turnout for our first theme day of the year. On August 20th, ASB hosted a water balloon dodgeball game played on Water Day. ASB had 3 events this day: seniors versus staff, seniors versus juniors, and homeroom wars. All of those who participated, and even those who did not, had a blast just watching. It was a great turnout. This is an activity that students and staff alike are hoping to see again in the next semester. On August 16th, we announced the start of our school's new monthly game called Who Wears the Cake? As explained in the last meeting held on August 12th, Who Wears the Cake is a competitive game between 2 individuals going head to head, competing and raising the most money. The one who raises the most money gets to hit the losing participant in the face with a cake. We really weren't sure how students as well as the faculty would react to this game. So we had two students start this game off to set an example, myself and Andrea Guardado. In the span of 2 weeks, we raised well over $100. Mr. Buck and Mr. Yunokio, two of Santana's respected teachers, are currently competing in September's Who Wears a Cake competition. Excuse me. Professional Dress Day is also a new monthly activity that will be held on at least one day of a month. Students are given the opportunity to come to school dressed as they would for a job interview and practice answering interview questions during the lunch period. We also have updated lists of jobs hiring in the La Puente area, and we make sure to work to assist students with the job application process. ASB wants September to be just as fun as August, and that is why on September 3rd, we had Rodeo Day, where students dressed in Western cowboy style. We had games where students could win prizes donated by teachers and staff. We even had one student dress up as a cow. Next week, we will be having our very first Eagle Spirit Week. We will have a theme for every day of the week. Monday will be Crazy Sock Day. Tuesday will be Hat Day. And Wednesday, well, we're hoping to see double because it's Twin Day. And on Thursday, it's Decades Day. On this day, students will have the chance to travel through time by selecting a decade and dressing up as if they were in that time period. Friday will be another special day, as it is Superhero Day, where students get to come as their favorite comic book heroes. ASB will be collaborating with Yearbook in the coming weeks through our Save Your Photos Day. On this day, ASB will go around taking photos of the high school seniors that will be added to the yearbook as well as to our bulletin board. These will also be hung up in the ASB room, and students will be allowed to take these photos home upon graduation. This way, they are able to hold on to a little bit of their high school year. Thursday, September 16th is Flannel Day. Why? Because it's just so American. It's a flannel. It'll also help us to bring in and welcome the fall season. Seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen are well aware that we can't do field trips. They're pretty much non-existent in this year. So we're gonna have a day at the zoo themed day where students can come dressed as their favorite animals. The only day that zebra stripes and cheetah print are allowed in the same outfit. I can say that we as a team have been working really hard to make Santana as welcoming as we possibly can. We want to make it we want to help the students become as successful in not only their social, but as well as their academic skills. After all, we are the Eagles and we soar high. Thank you.
Thank you, Maelena. The next speaker is Nogales High School. Nogales High School ASB President, Chelsea Sudago.
Good evening. My name is Chelsea Sidargo. I'm currently serving as the ASB Executive President at Nogales. I would like to share some events that have happened in chronological order, events that we are currently planning for, and an ongoing event that will span through multiple months. To begin, we started the school year with welcome back postcards. Each student received a postcard addressed to their name. On the postcard, we added a welcome back message encouraging the students and to provide a little something since we've been out of schools for so long. On the first day of August after school, we held a Noble get-together in our NPR. Students wearing Noble gear could enter for free. We had games and music playing. The get-together allowed students to relax and meet new people. The seniors hosted their first event of the school year. Senior Sunrise was held on August 27th. Seniors were able to watch the sunrise, play games, and hang out with friends. Donuts and juice were also passed out during the event. All fall sports have begun. Football took home their first win against Bassett. Girls tennis also had positive results in their matches against Pioneer, Baldwin Park, and West Covina. Girls volleyball also has won 5 games so far, and 5 nobles from our cross-country teams medaled in their races. Homecoming week is next week, and we'll have a spirit day to go along with it. Homecoming is actually on Saturday, September 18th, and our theme is The Greatest Showman. It will be held outdoors and masks will be required. We will have an unlimited photo booth, DJ, and carnival-style games to match the theme. Students attending will be able to enjoy some Chick-fil-A, cotton candy, and popcorn as well. After homecoming week, we will have Club Fair. Club Fair will take place on campus in between our B and C buildings during the whole week. All clubs on campus are invited to partake in this event. Clubs will be able to promote their clubs and recruit new members. Last but not least, the College and Career Center is a busy hub for seniors especially. Their newly renovated room features murals highlighting our alumni and their paths after high school. The center is an inviting environment where students can attend college application workshops, learn more, or receive help on applying for scholarships. Also, students who wear college gear on Tuesdays can drop by after school to be entered in a raffle to win more college gear. Thank you.
Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Maelena and Chelsea for speaking this evening. And I understand high school has a heavy homework workload. And you're welcome to stay if you have homework and the work to do and prepare your test. You may go ahead. The next written request. So Dr. Mitchell, any comments this evening?
I do believe we have one person who's requested to speak.
Okay, so I need to read this. Please note the public is welcome to provide comments to the board. Remarks are limited to 3 minutes unless extended or limited by vote of the board. A maximum of 20 minutes unless extended by the board is allocated for each subject discussed. The Brown Act open meeting regulations under which the board must operate do not allow board members to comment on non-agenda items or information you may bring up that are not on the agenda. Additionally, no action can be taken. However, the board may give direction to staff following a comment.
Perfect. I believe our speaker is an online guest. We can elevate that one. Mr. Slaughter and Ms. Ward.
Yes, tonight we have one speaker online. It is Kevin Hayakawa, and he is ready to be elevated.
Hello.
Go ahead, Mr. Hayakawa.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, President Chen, members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Mitchell, members of the cabinet, and fellow RUSD community members. My name is Kevin Hayakawa. I'm a K-12 graduate of RUSD and have been a Rowland Heights resident for more than 2 decades. I'm speaking to you tonight on the topic of a COVID-19 vaccine mandate for both staff and students, neither of which this board has adopted policy on. I'm glad to see that Governor Newsom has mandated vaccines for California school staff, so I specifically call on the board to institute a vaccine mandate for students age 12 and above with religious/medical exemptions, of course, to protect our community at large. Now that the Pfizer vaccine has full FDA approval, there's really no reason not to mandate the vaccine. RUSD already requires vaccination for polio, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, measles, mumps, rubella, hepatitis B, and varicella/chickenpox to enter kindergarten. Such a vaccine mandate would not be unprecedented. Culver City Unified School District mandated the vaccine for its students aged 12 plus weeks ago, even before Pfizer had received full FDA approval. And a vaccine mandate for students aged 12 plus was actually passed at the LAUSD school board meeting earlier that began at 2 o'clock today. According to the district COVID-19 dashboard, there have been confirmed COVID-19 cases at Giano Intermediate, Jellic Elementary, Killian Elementary, Nogales High, Northam Elementary, Oswald Academy, Telesis Academy, and Ybarra Academy. And the dashboard hasn't even been updated since August 16th, as far as I could tell, almost an entire month ago. Vaccines have already been mandated by the entire California State University system and University of California system, where I am currently a graduate student, and multiple California community colleges, where I currently teach. We are seeing schools around the country reclosing due to COVID-19 outbreaks. In California alone, most of Laston Union High School District and all of Red Bluff Union Elementary School District are temporarily closing or moving to distance learning until September 13. According to the website District Administration, schools are also closing in other states, including Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Montana, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and West Virginia. Surprisingly small reasons can cause a large number of students to have to quarantine or switch to distance learning. Reasons for closures include a shortage or multiple deaths of bus drivers, a large number of students quarantining, staff absences, student absences, and a high transmission rate or outbreaks in both the schools and or community. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Dr. Mitchell, to verify the dashboard update.
Yes, the dashboard is updated every evening. Pardon me?
Any other speakers?
No, there are none.
Okay, let's move to the next item. Discussion and action item. The 7A is I need a motion. Let me see. A public hearing, sorry. The next is public hearing. We'll hold a public hearing. Any member of the public who would like to provide comments on the sufficiency of instructional materials is invited to do so during this public hearing. Please step forward if you are attending in person or raise your virtual hand if you are attending virtually. So we may call upon you. The public hearing open at 6:58.
And if our tech team can look to see if anyone in our virtual audience has raised their hand. Mr. Chen, there is no one virtually that is asking to address this item and no one in person.
Okay, so the public hearing closed at 6:59. So next item, we move to 7A. And I need a motion and the second to approve the 2020-2021 unaudited actuals financial report as presented.
I'll move.
Donna move.
I'll second.
Mr. Malcolm second. Discussion, question? Oh, presentation, I see. Okay.
So yes, we do have a presentation for this item. We have Mr. Flores would like to share some information with the board.
Good evening, board. Good evening, President Chan, Vice President Freedman, board members, Dr. Mitchell, cabinet, and audience. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to provide a brief presentation on the unaudited actuals. In tonight's presentation, I will cover the 2021 unaudited actuals for the unrestricted and restricted general fund, review the final steps for closing the fiscal year 2021, address the upcoming changes in the 21-22 budget, and provide a summary of the additional funding that the district is entitled to receive this year. The budget cycle is a process that constantly in motion with key milestones throughout the year. As you can see, we are here to share the unaudited actuals for the 2021 school year. The next step will be to present the first interim in December. The unaudited actuals report is a year-end fiscal statement for the district. The unaudited actual report reflects solvency and guidance for decision-making in the current year. Typically, if large variances occur, we can use the information from the unaudited actuals to refine the current budget. In the private sector, this would be considered the year-end financial report. Due to the board and Dr. Mitchell's guidance, the district continues to be in strong fiscal position. Since approving the budget in June, the financial books have now been closed. Estimates or projections are now replaced with actual revenue and expenditures in the system. The actual expenditures are compared to estimated actuals to determine if any variances occurred. This is a large undertaking. And again, I would like to give credit where the credit is deserved. The fiscal department is a reflection of the wonderful employees that RUSD has, who always place students first. And I'm glad you could see them, because for over a year now, everyone's been wearing a mask and maybe we forgot how they look. So this is our fiscal team. And besides being great looking people, they're great employees for our district. I also would like to highlight who's in the audience tonight is Corey Duran, who is the interim director of fiscal services, who we've heard the name before as a supervisor for the past several years, who was the right hand of Aubrey Craig, who recently was promoted to assistant superintendent in a different school district. So thank you for all the help and thank you for all the guidance that you have done, Corey. You're doing an amazing job. So much so, Aubrey couldn't say this, but Corey can. This year, Rowland Unified School District was the first district in LA County to close our books. And not just close them with great accuracy. So thank you. This slide shows our 2021 unrestricted estimated actuals to unaudited actuals. Overall, we projected to underspend by 3.7 million. And the final numbers show that we underspent slightly more by 3.9. So our ending balance grew by $200,000 more. The variances in the revenue were primarily due to lottery, interest, and contributions. The lottery rate per ADA was changed from 150 ADA to $169.72. The resulting in an additional $259,000. Our actual interest revenue came in lower by $336,000. Also, our contribution to special education program increased by 1.5 million. Variances occurred in our expenditures due to the pandemic and distance learning for the majority of last year. We had savings within areas as subcosts, utilities, conferences, and contracted services. Although we incurred costs and additional resources to teach remotely, we were able to use federal CARES funds to cover some of these expenses. Book adoptions planned for the year were placed on hold so staff could review and provide input as they normally do so in person. Also, with students not on campus for most of the year, we took advantage and completed many capital outlay projects that were planned for in the future, such as fencing, paving, and painting. Restricted funds are also accounted for in the unaudited actual report, and these are examples of the restricted programs. This slide shows the unaudited actuals for the restricted general fund. At the estimated actuals, the restricted general funds was projected to be underspent by 7.3 million. The unaudited actuals show a restricted general fund of unspent 11.3 million, which was primarily due to the unspent ESSER 2 and ELO grant funds as we received them late into the year. The variances in federal revenue is due to remaining ESSER 2 funds which will be spent in the fiscal 2021-22 year. Other state revenue show an increase of 10.6 million due to the revenue received by the Expanded Learning Opportunities Grant that can be used through August 2024. The large variances on the restricted general fund are related to two areas: materials and supplies and contracted services. There were expenditures that did not materialize and some orders were received after June 30th and will be charged to the next fiscal year. The final step is to close the 2020-21 fiscal year are underway. Our auditor, Nigro have begun their comprehensive independent audit. A debt file of the unaudited actual will be reviewed, analyzed, and confirmed by auditors and the county. The auditors will continue their comprehensive review in October, both in person and remotely. The audit will be completed by December 15th and presented to the board in January. As the 2021 year is finalized, I would like to take a few moments tonight to discuss some changes that we made in the 21-22 budget at the first interim. We will incorporate the following changes in the budget: an increase in personnel costs for additional hours for various positions to support our students, a decrease in state unemployment insurance, an additional $3.9 million in LCFF funding for supplemental concentration, our ARE and non-represented settlement agreement, if approved tonight, and hopefully we will begin CSA contract negotiations to bring that forward as well. Here is a table that summarizes the additional state and federal funding RUSD is entitled to receive over the next few years. We are very, very thankful that the state has listened to many superintendents, including Dr. Mitchell, as she has advocated for some of these funds to be spread over a larger period of time and not be spent over 1 year, so that we can do different programs and use this money to benefit our students over a course of time. Some of these funds were to have been spent by September of next year and accounted for by December, and they have been expanded to September of 2024. So these funds can be spent over 3 years, and we can support our students and our staff members through this time. All of these funds bring challenges as well, because these funds can be spent over 3 years, so they could show in our ending balances as additional funds, but they're going to be accounted for because there'll be actions for over the course of 3 years. So in our budgets that we present, the multi-year projections is very important to see, because in the multi-year projections, they will show the use of these funds over the years, not just the 1 year, because that 1 year may show there's a lot of money at the end, but it's not misleading because that's what it is at that point in time. But over the course of 3 years, it will go down. And that's why under Dr. Mitchell's direction, working with Dr. Zamora and getting input from different stakeholders to see how these funds are spent to meet the needs of our students based upon data as well, but not just this year, but over the course of years. So this will bring some challenges, but it's refreshing to know that these funds are here to support our students. And we do appreciate the work behind the scenes to try to extend this for a longer period of time so we can have programs over years. Again, thank you for listening to this presentation, and this concludes it, and I will answer any questions, or we can have Corey come up and answer these questions for these.
I just want to say on behalf of the board that I think it's fantastic that you were the first to close out the books. And it just shows the continuing effort of you and your staff as to what a fantastic job you've been doing for many years, not just this year. So thank you.
Well, thank you and your team. And
I have to.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you and your team's good work. And I have a question about the state unemployment insurance rate dropped significantly from 1.23 to 0.5. Is that because of the COVID-19, they dropped the unemployment rate?
Yeah, there was a steep increase that it's applied to us. We're told the increase. There's different factors. We do believe that it is related to the pandemic and some of the unemployment the large unemployment you saw a year ago. It's like insurance. It's always after the fact. It is calculated. Yes.
Hello. I have worked with Corey and I know how good she is. So congratulations on the interim position and to what you have done in this unaudited actuals. On page 3, I have a question. Is the carryover distributed to the schools or is that kept by the district?
Our carryover is in the district. We have for carryover for district funds, they are brought into the district. We have allowed our school sites, especially last year, with them not being able to spend all their money. We did give them the opportunity to request to carry a portion of their discretionary supplemental concentration funds with an action plan and how they would spend it. And several of the schools took advantage of that and did ask for that. So that money is moved over to a 9,000 account on the restricted side, earmarked for them.
Okay, and that's unrestricted, correct?
The unrestricted became restricted because that money that was dropped is moved over to the restricted side with a specific school and a specific amount, and basically with a plan how it's going to be spent.
Okay, thank you. The other question that I have is on, I guess I knew what the ESSER $2 were because when they submitted it last Friday, it doesn't have it. So you said there's an additional SCFF revenue for supplemental and concentration. Did you say 3.9 million? And what are the name of the grants? Is it?
There is additional $3.9 million in LCFF supplemental and concentration funds that will be provided to our school district so that we can use to meet the needs of our students. It'll be incorporated in our plan.
Okay.
I think a good point to talk about also is the expanded learning program.
Okay.
That program is $3.5 million. That is one time. That could be ongoing. And I think sometimes there's confusion with that portion of money. That is very similar to the LCFF.
Okay, on the additional state and federal funding, you have deadlines. So if these are not spent, and I know we will spend, will they be lost?
Yes, so if you don't spend the money, then you will lose it. And we do a very good job of spending the money and making sure that we do that.
Thank you.
Dr. Mitchell is always constantly reviewing this in cabinet to making sure that we are maximizing all of our funds to meet the needs of our students as directed by the board, as you provide direction for us of what we want and how we want to spend it for our students to meet their needs and our community needs.
And do the schools have a say on what they need, or the district decides? Like, for instance, if the school needs, gates or security fence, things like that. Is that part of this?
So we have different pots of money, and we give them specific money that they have discretionary money in their budget to spend as they choose to spend it. And I'm sure most school sites get input from their stakeholders as well. When it comes to these larger amounts of money, some are distributed to different areas, and stakeholder meetings are conducted in a meeting. Right now, under Dr. Zamora, they're having ELO focus meetings to go over different plans on how to spend the ELO. There's about $12 million for that. So that is something she's conducting right now with different stakeholder groups, which will come back and be reviewed and to look at.
Thank you.
Anna?
I did what David said. Wow, I know you guys work hard, but Alex, Corey, and your team to be first in LA County is amazing. So impressive. Thank you. Okay, I have two questions. Let's see, on page 8, where it says our revenue was increase in contribution to special education. I want to understand that the special education money we contribute is from our general funds, correct?
Yes, that's a great point. Our contribution, and you see that's $16 million. Our contribution is for the restricted side expenses of special education because we do not receive enough money for special education for the costs of educating our students. So we had to make a contribution from our general fund, reducing our general fund so that we can make those expenses and those liabilities.
Okay, thank you. And on page 14, all of this additional state and federal funding. At the facilities presentation, you explained that we were going to have solar outdoor classrooms. Are any of these funds available for this?
Yes, the ESSER 3s, we are exploring and looking at outdoor solar classrooms. I do need to say we have installed about 4 to 6 30 by 30 tents at all of our schools so we can have outdoor classrooms. As the board and Dr. Mitchell fully support our music program here, to be able to find a way for them to be able to continue playing in a safe manner. Those were installed for all of our schools, and they have been a hit. They have been really good, really well utilized, and exploring a permanent structure and using the ESSER 3 funds is something that can be used and something that Dr. Mitchell has had me working on, working with different vendors and looking at that, and at the same time looking to explore solar with it so that it can actually produce some savings for us ongoing.
Terrific. Thank you very much. Great presentation again.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, we need a roll call vote to approve the next, what is the actual? Donna Freeman,
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez,
Aye.
David Malcolm,
Aye.
Eric Venegas,
Aye.
Terry Chen, aye. Motion carries. Is there missing? Yeah, okay. Okay, next to 7B, need a motion and a second to receive AB 1200 and AB 2756 from the Los Angeles County Office of Education in relation to the tentative agreements between the Rowland Unified School District and the unrepresented groups.
Where are you?
7B.
Did I hear district management team? It's different. Did you read this one? District management team. I'm just, yeah, it's the same thing.
Unrepresented.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
With much appreciation, I move.
AB 1200 and AB 2756.
Okay.
Donna move. I need a second.
I'll second.
Mr. Venegas, second. Discussion. Roll call vote. Don Freeman,
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez,
Aye.
David Malcolm, Eric Venegas,
Aye.
Terry Chen, aye. Motion carries. The next item. 7C. Approve the compensation increases for unrepresented groups consisting of all district management team, confidential supervisory, playground supervisor aides, and a contract adult school employees. Longevity increase of 4% for the district management team shall be applied at the beginning of the 7th, 12th, 17th, 22nd, and the 27th year of administrative service.
With much appreciation, I move.
Donna move.
I second.
Agnes second. discussion.
Okay, I'll start the discussion on this. There's many items that are involved in this. It's kind of hard that we have to tease some of these out. And one of the items is the longevity pay that is discussed in here from 2.3 to 4%, but it has added in there that with up to 12. Oh, okay, so that's taken out already. Okay, I'm just going by what was written here on the agenda.
You mean to read one more time?
Yeah, read the
I'm going
motion.
to read one more time. The motion is approve compensation increases for unrepresented groups consisting of all district management team, confidential, supervisory, playground supervision aides, and contract adult school employees. Longevity increment of 4% for the district management team shall be applied at the beginning of the 7th, 12th, 17th, 22nd, and the 27th year of administrative service.
Okay, so just for clarity, the 12 years of prior management credit is being eliminated. Okay, thank you.
Clear. So any other questions, discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Donna Freedman,
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez,
Aye.
David Malcolm,
Aye.
Eric Menegas,
Aye.
Carrie Chen, aye, 5-0. Motion carries. The next item is 7D. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the new certificated management job description for assistant principal, alternative, and assistant principal adult education?
Happily, I move.
I'll second.
And
I'll second.
Eric, second. Discussion. Roll call vote. Don Freeman,
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez,
Aye.
David Malcolm,
Aye.
Eric Menegas,
Aye.
Carrie Chen, aye. Motion carries. Next item 7E. Can I have a motion and a second to authorize teaching assignments for identified teachers outside of their credential area pursuant to Education Code Section 44256B, 44263, 44258.7B, and 44258.3, and 44865.
I'll move.
Donna move.
I'll second.
Eric second. Discussion.
Just thank you for all the hard work to find this information. I can't imagine all the work with all of our employees. Good job. Thank you very much, Dennis. And team, Dennis and your team.
This work is done by our hidden heroes and resources, which is our credential analysts, done by Kevin Gaspard, our director of resources, and other folks.
Any other comments? Roll call vote. Don Freeman,
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez,
Aye.
David Malcolm,
Aye.
Eric Menegas,
Aye.
Carrie Chen, aye, 5-0. Motion carries. Next item 7F. And a motion and a second approve the revised board policies as attached to the board agenda.
I'll move.
Eric move,
I second.
Agnes second. Discussion, comments? Roll call vote. Don Freeman,
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez,
Aye.
David Malcolm,
Aye.
Eric Menegas,
Aye.
Carrie Chen, aye, 5-0. Motion carries. Next item, 7G. Can I have a motion and a second to adopt a resolution EDS 21-22.01, sufficiency of standards aligned instructional material for all students. Need a motion?
I'll move.
Donna moved.
I second.
Good. Agnes, a second. Discussion.
Again, a lot of hard work. Who's responsible for this? That's, anyways, good work on this. A team effort, I'm sure.
Okay. Roll call vote. Don Freeman.
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez.
Aye.
David Malcolm.
Aye.
Eric Menegas.
Aye.
Gary Chen, aye. 5-0. Motion carries. The next is 7H resolution. I need a motion and a second to adopt the resolution AS 21-22 semicolon 07 GAN limit.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Donna second. Discussion. Roll call vote. Donna Freeman.
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez.
Aye.
David Malcolm.
Aye.
Eric Menegas.
Aye.
Gary Chen, aye. Motion carries. Next, 7I. Can I motion and the second to adopt the resolution AS 21-22-06 proclaiming October 11 to 15, 2021 as a National School Lunch Week.
David, do you want to move this?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, David.
I'll second.
Okay, Donna second. Comment.
I have to say something on this one. I just want to thank the people in nutritional services. It says on here for healthy and tasty lunches, and they are making attempts to find out what the students like and what they don't like, and try to cater to their needs, yet at the same time keep it healthy. As I said in the past, it's hard to concentrate on your studies if your stomach's growling, and nutritional services have really been put to the task during these COVID years or months with grab and go lunches and special diets and everything else. So just a big shout out to them for all their help, and transportation and the bus drivers who helped serve the meals and everybody else.
Yes, I'd like to thank the nutritional services. When everybody is not going to school, they are there to distribute once a week or twice a week, whatever it takes, they're there. And so thank you so much for all the hard work that you have done. Respect is what I can tell you. Thank you.
Because I realize some families and kids, they do realize the lunch for their nutrition of the day. Roll call vote. Don Freeman.
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez.
Aye.
David Malcolm.
Aye.
Eric Menegas.
Aye.
Rich and I. Motion carries. The next item is 7J. The motion and a second to adopt the resolution SO 21-22 semicolon 02 proclaiming October 10th to 16, 2021, the week of the school administrators.
I'll move.
Donna move.
I second.
Agnes second. Discussion and comment.
I guess this has really been the year and a half or 2 years of the school administrators with the challenges they've had on a daily basis, 24/7. So well deserved.
I hope that the school administrators know how we appreciate all the hard work they do, especially now with all the new things that are going on, that there's a lot more on your plate. So I'm glad that we approved some things for you tonight. That's it.
Any other comments? Roll call vote. Don Freeman.
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez.
Aye.
David Malcolm.
Aye.
Eric Menegas.
Aye.
Eric Chen, aye. Motion carries. And that's Madam K. I need the motion and a second to adopt the resolution SO 21-2203 proclaiming October 23rd to 31st, 2021, a Red Ribbon Week, with this year's theme being drug-free looks like me.
I move.
I
Donna
second.
move and Agnes second. Any comment?
as a teacher, I miss doing Red Ribbon Week activities, and it's really nice I wish we could do it all the time, say no to drugs. And I know the schools have really great activities. So it's very important, this Red Ribbon Week.
Thank you. Any other comments? Roll call vote. Don Freeman.
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez.
Aye.
David Malcolm.
Aye.
Eric Menegas.
Aye.
Carrie Chen, aye. Motion carries. The next item, the 7L. Can a motion and a second to adopt the resolution SO 212204 proclaiming September 15 to October 15, 2021 as Hispanic Heritage Month.
I'll move.
I'll second.
And Donna's second. Any comments? Roll call vote. Don Freeman.
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez.
Aye.
David Malcolm.
Aye.
Eric Menegas.
Aye.
Carrie Chen, aye. 5-0, motion carries. So 7M, need a motion and a second to adopt the resolution SO 21-2205 proclaiming October 2021 as a bullying prevention month.
I'll move.
Donna move.
I second.
Agnes a second. Comment?
I think this is so important. We need to put a stop to this, and it's very nice that we have this so that people will know we want our students to feel safe and that they won't get bullied. And I'm sure that there'll be other activities going on to prevent bullying, which is great.
Yeah. Bullying may make small issues, maybe causing loss of life.
I think this is especially, I think it's especially important now with what you're seeing, what's happening in the community with certain ethnic groups. And the only way we're going to stop it is by recognizing it, that there is a problem and then doing something about it.
Any other comments? Roll call vote. Donna Freeman.
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez.
Aye.
David Malcolm.
Aye.
Eric Menegas.
Aye.
Carrie Chen, aye. Motion carries. Okay, we move to a consent calendar. We will approve all the items consent with the exception of any items that were pulled or separated to nothing pulled. So I need a motion.
I'll move.
Consent calendar. Donna move.
I second.
Second. Roll call vote. Don Freeman.
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez.
Aye.
David Malcolm.
Aye.
Eric Menegas.
Aye.
Carrie Chen, aye. Motion carries. Okay, then move to the conference section. Comments from the board. We start with Donna.
Okay, yay. Okay, first, Dr. Mitchell, would it be possible to look into the idea of mandating employees to be vaccinated, please? Thank you. And thank you, Ybarra Academy, for the great presentation. Great job. Thank you again, Alex, and your team. I love the picture. Yay. For a thorough report. Your team and you do so much work, and it is very much appreciated. I want to mention some of our schools have been visited by the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health to make sure all health guidelines are being met. The reason for this was for Safe Schools full reopening. Our schools did great. Hollingworth was the first school, and the letter said that they are a model school. Under overall assessment, it said, quotes, excellent in capital letters, and quotes, no recommendations, exclamation mark, quotation. Wow, this took a lot of work by many, many people. Thank you everyone for being a part of this and making sure our students and employees are all safe and abiding by all the health guidelines. Especially today when Dr. Mitchell mentioned how there hasn't been a case from students or staff or anything in brought by our schools, which is outstanding. That takes a lot of work by everybody. I attended the virtual ARE monthly meeting. I attended for a very short time, but wanted to welcome back the teachers and tell them how much we appreciate all their hard work. I hope to attend a CSEA meeting soon. I just want to mention paper again. The company provides 24/7 online homework help support and essay review platform. Now it is available for all students and parents in grades 2 through 12 in English, Spanish, and Mandarin. I think this is so beneficial for our students and their parents. I also want to mention the social emotional learning summer professional development during July 1st through August 30th. Employees were offered 14 hours with compensation to participate in learning around social emotional related topics. Over 40 opportunities for learning through live and pre-recorded webinars, YouTube videos, live Zoom sessions, and more were made available. This is so wonderful for our staff. I'm happy to know many of our employees took advantage of this important professional development. Today, we approved a policy 5145.9, hate motivated behavior. It is terrible that we have to have this, but I totally understand why we have to have this policy. I am glad that in this policy, it states, a student or parent guardian who believes the student is a victim of hate motivated behavior is encouraged to report the incident to a teacher, the principal, the district's compliance officer, or other staff member. We passed resolutions tonight showing support for National School Lunch Week, which I thought of David right away, Week of the School Administrator, National Red Ribbon Week, Hispanic Heritage Month, and Bullying Prevention Month. All of these are so important. And lastly, I went for a long walk when we had the cool weather around my neighborhood in Rowland Heights. I saw a sign that said graduate 2021. I had to take a picture, and it was from Rowland High School. And their next door neighbor also had one up. So it brought a smile to my face. How nice to have these signs still up. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Agnes?
Thank you. I thought you were going to go this one. But good evening. First of all, I apologize because last time I forgot to thank, well, I would like to thank him now, Walnut Councilor Dr. Alan Wu for donating a box of adult masks and 4 boxes of kids masks at Oswald last July 28. Carrie Chan and I were there with him to accept masks together with Principal Jason Garcia and Vice Principal Annie Dodalao and the staff, Connie Felix and Dolores Tapia. Thank you so much for your generous donation, Walnut Councilor Dr. Alan Wu. Happy 1-month anniversary to us for coming back to in-person learning. How time flies. And I know that it had not been easy. It is a lot of great job and hard work every single day. It is a huge step for every stakeholder, and it takes everyone for this to be a successful transition. It is a teamwork, and I am in awe of all the hard work that had been placed into it. It didn't happen overnight, and we all need to be proud and to continue to work together for the students' success, as this is the reason why we are all here. Congratulations, Hollingworth, for passing the all compliance in flying colors with a site visit from the Department of Health. Congratulations too to Jellic, Ybarra, and Hurley for a successful random visit from the Department of Public Health with a small and few recommendations in regard to compliance. I am so proud and honored to be in the Rowland Unified District alongside with all of you. Thank you for all your hard work to continue our students safe in these pandemic times. On a closing note, I'd like to remind everyone, and the traffic, school does not stop at school. There is after school. Kids on bike, be extra careful, mindful of bicycles, especially in school zones. Pedestrians, some kids are walking to school. Stay hyper vigilant near crosswalks and when back out of driveways. Drop off and pick up. Try to be patient with kids in and out of vehicles. Some days are a real struggle for them. Please keep our kids safe. The most important thing to remember is to keep our eyes on the road. A text can wait. Let's make driving safe our priorities, especially around the school area. Thank you so very much and good evening.
Thank you, Alex. David?
Excuse me, I want to congratulate again, California Continuation Award winners and Dr. Mitchell. I tell you, if this is America's Got Talent, the representative from Santana has got to be the winner tonight. Their activities, they are so creative at Santana with the games and just to get students involved. I mean, really creative stuff. And my hat goes off to Santana High School for what they're doing over there. I attended the video presentation by the California Department of Education on safe and successful schools this past month. This was an update on measures and recommendations to make schools COVID safe. After watching the presentation, I have to say that RUSD has implemented all the measures and recommendations, plus many more. It more than confirmed the fact that RUSD is on the right track. And as Agnes has said and Dr. Mitchell said earlier, we are doing a fantastic job on keeping our schools COVID safe. We did some recognitions for month recognition this month. One that I'd like to add is National Suicide Prevention Week, which began, I should say, on September 5th and ends on September 11th of this year. It's an annual campaign that's observed in the United States to educate and inform the general public about suicide prevention and warning signs of suicide. It also aims to reduce the stigma surrounding suicide and encourages the pursuit of mental health assistance, because going to a therapy session should be as normal as going to the gym and playing a game of basketball. So be aware, especially aware this week, of suicide prevention. Senator Josh Newman held a joint hearing for Senate Special Committee on Pandemic Response and Education. And there were several people that were testifying. Among the individuals that testified was Alex Briscoe, a social worker from the California's Children's Trust. California's Children's Trust is one of the biggest providers for intervention for students. And let me just share a few few statistics that he mentioned. Children 8 to 18 has the lowest rate of primary care doctor visits. So children 8 to 18 has the lowest rate of primary care doctor visits. Therefore, the schools end up becoming the primary source of identifying issues for children. Just like for dietary, the schools had to take over. The schools are now taking the responsibility to identify primary care needs that normally the doctors would do. So student health problems become a major emphasis along with behavioral health problems. This may sound familiar because of the fact that I keep pushing for the meals in schools. There's a crisis in mental health amongst young children. It started prior to the pandemic. Everybody's thinking that the pandemic started the crisis, but really started before. The pandemic just accelerated it. A few of the numbers that he mentioned: 104% increase in inpatient visits for suicide ideations, self-injury for ages 1 through 17, and 151% for ages 10 through 14. 50% increase in mental health hospital days since 2014. 61% increase in the rate of self-reported mental health needs since 2005. And California ranks 48 amongst the lowest in the country for providing access to mental health services. I'm proud, though, that Rowland is meeting this challenge head on, like it did with the lunches and the breakfasts and with COVID, with the increase in social workers at the Family Resource Center and the recent approval for behavioral interventionists and teachers on special assignments and the addition of counselors. Many of these things were being pushed in the 2015 election, as Ms. Freedman knows. However, you can have the best counselors, and this is a great statement this gentleman said. You can have the best counselors, but if the students do not talk to them, it will not change anything. So hiring counselors alone does not solve the problem. So you might say, well, what does solve the problem? What are the key ingredients? The key ingredients are culturally relevant with behavioral health supports that are relation-based works the best. Now, how can we make this happen in Rowland? One is that we can finance them, which we're doing already. Secondly, we have to place them so they're accessible. We have to have them where Hurley is, not at the district office. Providers need to look like them. A student will be more likely to talk to somebody who is culturally relevant and understands the basis for culturally relevant behavior. And thirdly, you need to generate trust between the counselor and the student. And how do you do that? You do finance them, you place them where they're accessible, and you provide culturally relevant counselors. You do that, you'll generate trust. And if you generate trust, you will then make a change in students that need help. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
All right. As always, I do want to thank our student leaders that showed up and we were in person tonight. From Ybarra, we had Chloe, Riley, and Michael, and what an amazing job they did as middle school, 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade, just really professional up there and did an outstanding job. Our high school leaders, Rowland, Santana, Nogales, we got Anna, Maelena, and Chelsea. Again, just it's great to hear their voice on what's going on and in their own words, and that's really good. I do also want to touch about COVID, and I want to thank you, Dr. Mitchell, the cabinet, the COVID response team, staff, parents, students. I think it's everyone working together, holding everybody accountable. I appreciate everyone's hard work. I think the audit shows that. We had 3 audits. I think it was representative of all your hard work and staff's hard work. And the dashboard also shows that. I will add though, if we see something, we need to say something, right? So we need to hold each other accountable. If I forget my mask, David, Mr. Malcolm, please remind me. It may be an oversight, and I've done that at the market or something, or you forget social distancing. So we need to work on all this together. So I do want to say I appreciate everyone on that. I did get to attend 2 football games, both Nogales and Rowland High School, and that was a very nice welcome back to see just the spirit of the kids in the school. And you forget how much goes on in a football game. It's not just the football players, it's the cheerleaders, it's the band, it's the parents. And I was going to touch on that with the student leaders here tonight. One of my favorite things tonight was to see the parents with their phones up, taking pictures and videos of their kids. I mean, these are involved, proud parents, and I appreciate them as well. But to see the same parents taking pictures of the band and everything going on, that was a great experience. And then to see some of our COVID factors in place. Dr. Mitchell was there, and I got to see the band with their specialized masks that they need for their mouthpieces. So there's a little opening, they can actually play in the band, and then it closes back up. So that was really neat that we provided that for them. We keep our children safe, and that was a great thing. So thank you very much. Mr. Chen.
Thank you, Mr. Ingles. Okay, now, first, thank you, Mr. Flores and your team. Sorry, my bad habit. Thank you, Mr. Flores and your team for the hard work to prepare the report. And I want to congratulate everyone to be honored, the honorees to be honored in the CCEA conference, including Dr. Mitchell and the Santana staffs. And I'm very excited to learn the district is accepted to the League of Innovative Schools. Yeah. And I'm very curious to learn more about this organization. So I Googled it, and the first thing in the website, open it, in the front page, it says the League of Innovative Schools support the most forward-thinking leaders in education. I think that's very excited word to me. And this is what we're doing, our board. Our board set directions. We set direction to the future. So we need all those. We need the help from the to get the information, interact with the other districts, and for the to be a future thinking and future looking, because the technology change rapidly every day. We are in the middle. We are pretty soon we're going to be in the mid 21st century. We're not the new century anymore, and the technology change rapidly. So engineering, 3D printing, those things we can't imagine. So we have to think and look in the far future, and and we are educating the future leaders for the mid 20th century, 21st centuries. So I think we joining this organization, I'm sure we will get a lot benefit from that, because we have a chance to meet the other future thinkers and future the educators. So I'm glad that they accept us, and we can be a part of that organization. And again, our district got a lot of strong support from the community. I was contacted again by a private company called Pyramid Global, wanted to donate the supplies, the COVID-19 supplies, hand sanitizer, they asked me who should donate it to. So they donated to Chinese Association, as we discussed, and we donated to RUSD. So total about near 5,000 bottles of 300 milliliter, 75% alcohol sanitizer. So then the owner asked me to donate it to the underserved area. So they need these hand sanitizer most. So I want to publicly thank the owner of Pyramid Global for their generosity and care about the community. And I believe they will pick it up and deliver to the schools. And this is the 5th week in-person instruction. And first couple of weeks, we received complaints from the community. And I forward the complaint to Dr. Mitchell, to Flores, Mr. Flores, and Mr. Flores right away in the next day in the morning, and go to school site and take pictures and what. And after 2 weeks, no complaint. And now I receive a lot of good words from the community. Says that they are comparing our district to the neighboring district. We have to do a lot better, including the waiting time, the entry to the schools, lunch hours setup, school classroom setting, and very importantly, contact tracing. So they got contact tracing, the families receive message from the school very professionally, and they appreciate it. So we do very well. Thank you, Dr. Mitchell, and your staff, and everyone. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, and have a good evening. Okay, next item is join the meeting. I need a motion.
I'll move.
Join the meeting. Donna, move, and I need someone to.
I'll second.
Mr. Melvin, second. Okay, roll call. Donna Freedman.
Aye.
Agnes Gonzalez.
Aye.
David Malkin.
With gusto, aye.
Eric Venegas.
Aye.
Aye. Kirchen, ayes. Motion carries. The meeting adjourned at 7:54. Thank you very much to join us. Thank you, and you have a good evening. Right.